What's up, guys? Welcome back to VIP Society, a social platform that brings together the best people in nightlife, entertainment, hospitality, and the luxury space. Today, I've got my good friend Darren Marble here on the podcast with me, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. It's great to see you again. This is the second time we've met. You made a good impression the first time, and it's an honor to be here with you in the studio, man, so I really appreciate it. Quick bio on me, man. I'm a serial founder, originally from the Bay Area, then went to Southern California, LA, went to UCLA, dropped out of UCLA, got into sales for 10 years, had a career in software sales, started my first company around 2013. Fast forward today, I own and operate two businesses. So I have a software company that allows brands to turn their customers into investors. And then I also am in an entertainment business. And we're pioneering a new type of show. And we call this category interactive investing. So think of the show Shark Tank, right? Which we've all seen tons of episodes. We probably have friends or family that have been on the show. Like, that's how big that brand is. But our shows allow the viewers, anyone who's watching, to legally invest in the companies or deals while they watch.
I love that.
So it's an interactive investing format where the viewer becomes the shark.
Yeah,
We've been doing that since 2018, and we're on the verge of taking these shows mainstream.
I love that.
Thanks, man.
So how did you get started with all of this? How did you get the idea, or did you come up with started the company to raise the capital for these productions, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's interesting. Like the two businesses I'm in, really my co-founder of each company kind of came to me with the idea. And I often latch on to good ideas and say, hey, that's cool. Like, let's go execute that. So in the studio business, I have a partner in LA named Todd Goldberg, and we've been friends for a long time. Our wives used to teach together at a private school in LA. And in 2017, 2018, we were in New York at a steakhouse in Manhattan, and he was in the med tech industry, like medical technology, selling really complex medical devices to surgeons and hospitals. And he said, Darren, I've been following your career in the online capital raising industry. I know that you've kind of mastered like the ways that companies can turn their fan bases and customer bases into investors. He said, we should produce a show like Shark Tank where the viewers can invest in the startups. And I turned him down right away. I was like, dude, I've heard this pitch 100 times.
Yeah.
And I had heard this pitch. It was a commonly pitched idea back in 2018. And I said, Todd, I know bankers that want to do this, guys that have a lot more money than us. Some of these bankers are connected to studios like Amazon. I don't have those relationships. There's guys in Hollywood that want to do this show. It's kind of an obvious idea. Like, if you've watched Shark Tank, at some point you've seen a company and you're like, yeah, I'd put money into that deal. So like the viewers, you know, the audience has had this idea. And Todd didn't like that answer. He was like, wait a minute. If this is such a commonly pitched idea and you've heard it from everyone, like, where's the show? Right. Shouldn't it exist? And it didn't exist. And so as we peeled the onion that night, what I realized was that it was a very complicated vision to execute, that it was a requirement to combine elements of Wall Street and finance and capital markets and the securities industry with elements of entertainment, production, storytelling, distribution. And so we decided in that moment, like, let's go for it. It doesn't exist. A lot of people have pitched it, but maybe we can be the guys that solve this. And so that's how it started.
I think it's an amazing concept. You've really just taken Shark Tank and elevated it, allowing the viewers to invest into the projects as well.
That's right.
That's awesome. I'm actually interested in all of this as well.
Thanks.
As an entrepreneur, as an investor myself. So you are from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
You first started with software before you got into television producing, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So how did all of this unfold, from software to tech
Yeah.
to entertainment?
Well, you know, it's interesting, like when you drop out of college, at least when I did, which was like 2003, so it was like a while back now, you often find yourself with a handful of options. And like one of those options is sales. Like if you can sell, you can generate revenue for a business. And I ended up taking a commission-only job at the time selling subprime loans for a lender in El Segundo. It's called Greystone Financial. And I discovered that I had a talent for banging phones, like making 300 outbound cold calls a day, 4 hours of phone time. And there's a part of my personality that is obsessive, compulsive, high energy, and that I was kind of geared for like cold calling, appointment setting, and also closing. And that ultimately led into a career in Oracle software sales. Oracle's, maybe the biggest or one of the world's largest software companies of enterprise software. They sell to Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 and millions of other businesses. And I spent 10 years in that career, starting from inside sales to inside sales manager, outside sales VP, regional vice president of sales. But somewhere towards the end of that 10 years, I realized like I didn't want to be that guy in my 50s or even 60s with gray hair or no hair selling software to some business down the street.
Right.
And they had a term for these guys. They would call them like road warriors because they were always on the road. Like you're always in your car driving from corporate, some office, to like San Diego. You're going to the Bay Area. Now you're going to Nevada. And that's what you do. You have to meet people face to face. And so I had mastered that skill of understanding how to identify the pain points of these big companies and how to really solve and compete with other big software companies to win multi-million-dollar deals. But I didn't want to end up being older and like tied to this career. It wasn't my passion. I had a talent for it, but it wasn't my passion. And so towards the end, I was like, I want to do something else. And I didn't know what I wanted to do other than be my own boss. Right. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be in control of a business, in control of my own destiny. And so the first company I started was a marketing agency, which I think is, even today in 2026, it's a great starting point because everybody wants to build like $1 billion AI company and like be the next unicorn and go out and raise $100 million in venture. And like, okay, that's cool, and everybody hears these stories of these big AI companies, but there's something to be said for being able to go sell a product or service and get paid for that product or service and have a margin on that product or service and then do that over and over and over again. And that's been my foundation. And so I started a marketing agency towards the end of my career selling software, and then it kind of blossomed into a bigger agency, and then a technology business, and then an entertainment company.
I love that. You've really gotten comfortable at the skills that are most difficult to learn and do and execute. So a lot of people that are probably watching and listening to this, they want to do what you do, but knowing how to cold call people and go from meeting to meeting, executing things, getting stuff done as an entrepreneur, as a professional, is not the easiest. Knowing how to do sales is not that easy. There's a lot of people that aren't comfortable speaking to people in general, let alone doing sales and becoming successful with that. So
Look, I mean, it's worth emphasizing because we're in the age of AI.
Yeah.
Right. I came into this podcast studio. Here in Las Vegas. And it's a bunch of young guys, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. Your studio is great, and how are you doing this? How are you editing clips? We're using Claude. OpenClaw, we've got all these agents, I got Fred, Pamela, they're way ahead of the curve. And that's kind of where the culture is and where technology is, and I think that's great. But it doesn't replace the need to be able to communicate face to face and look someone in the eye and know whether you're being bullshitted or whether they're telling you something truthful, and the ability to persuade, the ability to negotiate, and the ability to close. So here's just a very simple example. We've been building the infrastructure for our studio for 8 years. We've produced 3 seasons of our flagship show. It's a show called Going Public. We follow the stories of founders, building their business, raising capital. The viewer can click to invest and buy shares in any company while they watch. We recently signed with Paradigm Talent Agency. So they're one of the top talent agencies in the U.S. They represent Mike Tyson, Sydney Sweeney, Ed Sheeran, and us, our studio, which is called Crush Capital. We're now developing 2 new shows, and one of those shows we are about to pitch to Netflix. Okay? For me to get that deal done doesn't involve an agent.
Right.
Okay? Claude is not in the room with us.
Right.
OpenClaw is not involved. It's Darren and some of our business partners in New York, and some very heavy hitting executives that have worked at Netflix for 5 or 10 years.
Yep.
It's a face-to-face conversation, and it's a pitch. That's where the deals are made at that level, right? Now, maybe someone else, they don't need that. They can go build $1 billion unicorn using OpenClaw, and that's great. And I'm interested in that technology. I'm not shunning it. I want to use it. I've seen guys, have these awesome setups, and you have to be on like the tip of that spear to be relevant and to like really protect yourself in the future. But it doesn't eliminate the need to be able to communicate and to be able to negotiate.
Something that AI cannot replace.
No, like in this meeting with Netflix,
Yeah.
it's person to person,
Yeah.
mano a mano.
Yep.
Maybe there's women in there too, but I'm just saying there's no AI in that meeting.
Yeah.
It's two people or a group of people, and we're going to pitch a vision, and we're going to have quick, precise answers to address their concerns. And hopefully my experience over the last 8 years and my experience in 10 years of selling software, I'm confident we can get that deal done.
Absolutely.
But it has nothing to do with AI.
Right. I don't know if you knew this, but because this is only the second time or third time we've hung out. Second time we've hung out, gotten together. But I used to be a talent agent in Hollywood for a while, so I'm very familiar.
You told me that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm very familiar with the agencies and everything out there and how they operate and how they work.
Right.
I still have a lot of friends that are in the industry. That's why I like to stay in touch and have a good keep those relationships. And I still plan on doing a lot in that world as well. I'm not just hospitality, nightlife, but entertainment too.
Very valuable skill. Like coming up with a talent agency, like you're a people person.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be. So.
Yep. I've also got a master's degree in film production, film producing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So what you do is it kind of caught my interest right away. So I was like,
Sure.
okay, I got to have him on the podcast.
Oh, you're the man.
You're in town for however many days, and so I was like, all right, now's my chance.
I love it.
So
that's awesome to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on. You're doing a lot. It's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So you went from software to entertainment.
Yeah.
You were just telling yourself what one day? So I'm really good at sales. I've got all these resources and connections. Why don't I utilize it and start making some stuff happen?
Yeah.
How did it get into development for TV shows instead of a different route?
Well, it started off as this marketing agency, right? And, I've been married for a long time, coming up on 20 years, been married 18 years. And I told my wife that I'm going to quit this career, which is high paying, lucrative, has benefits, medical, dental, health, 401k, and I'm going to go all in and start my own business. And she wasn't excited to hear that. And I don't think any spouse, honestly, is like, oh, great, like that's awesome. I think every partner or spouse, when they hear that from the other partner, they're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
But this is what I told her. I said, look, I've mastered a number of skills over the last decade selling Oracle software and services to Fortune 500 companies. I've trained under some of the most successful, high-earning salespeople in Oracle Corporation globally, because the Southern California district is just ripe with big businesses, companies doing hundreds of millions, billions of dollars in revenue. I had great mentors. I said, there is a risk here. Like, I'm not an idiot. I know that this might not work, but I'm going to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, I can go back to selling software. I can. I know hundreds of people in this industry. Now, maybe if I try to go back in a year, these people will go to different companies. Some of these guys, they don't know me as well. But I was like, I'm confident that if this doesn't work, I have this backstop. And so I'm going to bet on myself. And it's a really tough decision because the fear of running out of money or having to replace an income, it's a real thing, right? Like when you have a mortgage or you have children or a spouse and bills, 10 at a time, all this mail, you can't deny, that's like your reality.
Yeah.
So one of the keys is I do think there has to be, you have to take that leap at some point. If you want to be an entrepreneur, whatever you want to do, in hospitality, podcast, business, entertainment, at some point, you have to bet on yourself and go all in. It's not going to work on a part-time basis. But the key is like, when do you make that move? And so I think a lot of times what can be effective for people is you start this thing on the side, you're moonlighting, you're testing, you're tinkering, and then at some point, you might have a semblance of an income. It's not going to replace 100%, of what you're making in your career. But if you could replace like 50%, that might be a moment to be like, all right, I'm going to go for it.
Absolutely.
See if I can build that to 75, 80, try to get back to that 100%.
Absolutely. It's a lot riskier when you have a family,
Totally.
than compared to someone like myself. It's just me taking all the risks, and I've got, only my stuff to lose.
Right.
So it's easier to take those chances. But you've done it, you did it, and you're thriving right now, which is very exciting. And what's the next thing you're working on?
Well,
There's
a couple things. Yeah, so we're developing 2 new shows. One of these shows has a very successful entrepreneur and investor in New York. Mm-hmm. We're under NDA. We can't name him yet.
Got it.
30 or 40 million followers, billion-dollar business, a very prominent person and voice in social media, mm-hmm. right? He's a hustler. And this is an individual who's going to host our next interactive show. This is the show that we're taking to Netflix and other platforms like Amazon and Hulu and CNBC. And Netflix is already leaning in, right?
And it's already been out for 1 season, correct?
No, this is a new show.
So
we've done 3 seasons of one show. It's called Going Public.
Going Public, and then
now we're doing 2 new shows with different talent, different stars, different formats.
Okay.
And we've kind of partnered with this individual and his production company in New York because they have some of the relationships with these key buyers, and so we're looking at them like, all right, this guy's got massive influence, massive credibility, and pedigree, and he's looking at us saying, you guys have done 3 seasons of an interactive show, mm-hmm. and you have the technology, and you've done it 3 times, and the sky didn't fall, and nobody got sued into oblivion. So it's a really good partnership. So our goal is to get one of these shows on a tier 1 platform. Tier 1 being a Netflix, or Amazon or a CNBC.
Yeah.
That's the only remaining destination for us.
Well, it sounds like you're doing all the right things, making all the right moves, so I'm sure it'll happen.
Thank you, man.
Hopefully sooner than later.
Me too.
Now, for going public, that's a very interesting concept. So how exactly does it work? So people that are watching or haven't seen the show, how do they just call in and say that they're interested in investing into these projects that were being shown, or
it's even easier than that. So the Going Public series, the last season we did was licensed by X, so Musk's social media company, and it's one of 20 shows they've ever licensed. Mm-hmm. Most people don't know this, but X actually has an originals division, right? And they license high-end shows. So that's different than me putting out content and then just pushing it out on my channel or my account and promoting it. They're licensing it and they're pushing it out organically. They drove 100 million views across 5 episodes of the Going Public series last year between May and June 2025. So
it's incredible.
The way it works is we have a handful of companies in a season. Mm-hmm. In season 3, we had 3 companies, and we follow these founders on a journey across a handful of episodes. All right, 4 produced episodes, and the 5th episode was a live stream finale here in Vegas. So over the first 4 episodes, and these are like 25-minute episodes, they're released on a weekly basis. The viewer gets to learn about these 3 founders, their businesses, but then to make this an original show and entertaining, we take the founder out of their office, out of their comfort zone, and we put them through challenges like you would see on Survivor or The Apprentice or other hot reality shows. So, for instance, like in season 2, we took our founders to Las Vegas. We threw them in a boxing ring with Floyd Mayweather at his gym. And the lights go on, and they don't know that Floyd's coming out, and he starts sparring with him. He's like, all right, Anthony, pitch me your business, man. And they're sparring with him, and in that moment, the viewer gets to see a different side of you than they've ever seen,
That's
right?
Great.
Because if they see you in the podcast studio, they're like, all right, you're in your element.
Yep.
This is your brand. This is your show. I'm a guest, but if I threw you in to a boxing ring with Floyd, I'm going to see a different side of you.
Absolutely.
Now, Floyd's not trying to beat the shit out of you, but at least they see how you react under pressure. And so that's part of the entertainment value. Of course, the viewer needs to understand, what kind of business do you have? What kind of revenues do you have? Are you growing? Are you downsizing? Are you profitable? How many customers do you have? And then even more, how much capital are you raising, Anthony? Oh, you're raising $1 million? Right. What are the terms? Just like Shark Tank. Someone says, okay, Sharks, we're looking for $1 million for 10% of the company. So that means the valuation's $10 million. Similar here, except the viewer is able to invest. Now, the viewer isn't calling in. They're able to click a link and buy shares in your company, right? And they click that link and they can buy shares in your company, private US startup,
Nice.
in about 45 seconds.
That's great.
So if I'm the viewer and I like you and I like your deal and your company and I'm seeing you under stress and these challenges,
Yeah.
I click to invest and I can buy shares using my credit card, my debit card, Cash App, Apple Pay, Google Pay, the same way I buy products online when I click off an Instagram ad. And I can buy $100 worth of $100 worth of shares in your business in 45 seconds. And now I'm a small owner in your company.
I love that.
So it's designed to be seamless and easy for the viewer to become an investor.
All done through a website or an app?
Just it's mobile responsive.
Very cool.
You know?
Very
And
cool.
so this is what the software company does is my software company Issuance provides that
Got it.
online capital raising solution.
Okay.
So the viewer can quickly and easily become an investor.
That's amazing. You're doing a lot.
I'm trying, man.
Growing up, were you always an entrepreneur? Did you always have that entrepreneurial spirit, that drive?
You know, I was competitive. I mean, I didn't grow up. I actually didn't know what I wanted to do like when I was younger. I was a good student in high school, straight A's, and took a couple AP classes.
Yeah.
But I was competitive.
Sports?
I was a state champion high jumper.
Okay, that's pretty
Now,
cool.
I smile because most people don't know
Yeah.
what the high jump is.
Yeah.
So Anthony, do you know what the high jump is?
I'm thinking that it's where you run with the pole, right? And then you.
That is the common answer. That's the pole vault.
Okay, so the high jumper
the
is
high jump is where you run and you jump over the bar.
dirt. Over the bar. Okay, okay.
But see, I laugh at it because 50% of people don't know what high jump is. It's like when I watch the Olympics.
Yes, you don't
And
know.
I watch people curling. I'm like, what in the actual fuck is this? Like, how is this even a sport? And I think a lot of people, when they hear high jump, they're like, this is so obscure.
So it's literally just jumping high
jumping high over a bar,
and
yeah.
whoever the higher
So
you jump, the better.
I had this talent for like a very obscure sport. Like track and field is obscure compared to football.
How high can you jump?
My
did you?
personal best was 6 feet 10 and a quarter inches,
Wow.
and I still have the high school record at Los Altos High in the Bay Area.
And that's off the ground.
Yeah, jumping, just running and jumping over a bar.
Wow.
So, but still, I laugh at myself because it's like so obscure. Like, oh, that's the pole. I was like, no, that's the pole vault.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was competitive, so I learned how to be an athlete. I was very coachable. I learned how to take feedback from people that were willing to coach me, and kind of put my ego aside and say, all right, coach, like, what do I do? I want to be better. What do I need to do? How do I train better? How do I eat better? How do I show up better? Mental, emotional, physical, talent and health. And I liked winning.
Yeah.
And so I've always had that competitive spirit, and I do think that if you are an entrepreneur or founder, you don't need to be a high jumper. You don't need to be an athlete to be successful, but you have to have that competitive drive. I've never met an entrepreneur that's likes to lose.
Now we're playing the sport of business.
That's right.
Business, and we're playing to win.
That's
I was
exactly
actually
right.
thinking about this on the way here. I was thinking how a lot of entrepreneurs, as we get older, go from being more physically fit and athletic to mentally. Because as you accomplish more and take on more responsibility, you've got to be mentally strong, stronger than you probably are physically strong. You're training completely different muscles and taking on more responsibilities the more you become successful.
Well, the other thing to that is especially as an entrepreneur or founder of a startup, I think in particular, you end up losing all the time. So shit is always going wrong. Everybody has this idea of what it's like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire and drive this nice car and I'm going to have all this money. It ain't that.
Yeah.
There are moments, I've had years where I've cleared 7 figures.
Yeah.
But I've had years where I've barely scratched 40 grand.
Yeah.
And that sucks. As a guy that has kids and a wife and a mortgage, I can't live like that.
Right.
So you end up having to go through a lot of pain and suffering. As Jensen Huang, the founder of NVIDIA, would say, he's like, I wish upon you pain and suffering. I understand what he means. Because most of the time, you are suffering. And there is some setback. There's some obstacle that you have to overcome. And it's very easy. I think the average person would quit right away.
Absolutely.
Because it sucks.
Yep.
It sucks hard, and all these things like are breaking at the same time. And so like the pain is exponential. It's hard, dude.
And I tell this.
You have to have like a super thick skin for it.
I agree completely. I tell people all the time that I've probably failed more than a lot of people have even tried. And it takes that kind of drive to get further ahead.
Right.
You just got to keep on moving,
You have to.
no matter what. Like
No matter what.
if you're alive, you can keep moving.
You know, like I'm a fan of Elon Musk, and he's one of those guys that like you love him or hate him. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that hate him.
Yeah.
Politics, they don't like his stance on Trump or Doge.
Right.
But he is somebody that literally never quits. And the average person doesn't really understand what that means. Like that guy has been to hell and back multiple times in multiple businesses, and like the guts and the courage and the tenacity required to like keep going despite these challenges, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like it would knock the average person out so fast, dude.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
No.
They've got to be able to take on the pressure, the lawsuits,
Yep.
and everything else that comes at you in life.
I've been there.
And if you want that sports car and that luxury lifestyle, as a lot of men do, just for the fun of it, it takes effort, it takes work to get there.
So speaking of lawsuits, I mentioned this to you, but I'm in the process of writing a book.
Yeah.
And it's my first book, and we're in the early innings. The book is technically like 80% written, but these things take months and months to like write and edit and pitch and all of it. The title of the book is called Hacked, Stalked, Sued, Extorted.
Oh yeah.
A survival guide for the modern leader.
Can I make my order now?
I got you. I'm giving you one for free. And all of those things, Anthony, have happened to me.
Yeah.
I have been stalked. I have a stalker. I've been sued by a competitor who wanted to ruin me. I've been hacked for cryptocurrency. The hackers ended up getting arrested. They're in jail. I got my money back through restitution. And I've been extorted.
Yeah.
Actually by some guys out here in Vegas, of all places.
Yeah.
And all of those things, which are pretty horrible just in and of themselves, they happen to me because I am an entrepreneur. I can tie each one of them to being a founder of a business, and you sometimes are vulnerable to being attacked.
You're a target.
You're a target. And what's hard about it is you don't think you have a target on your back, but most of the time you do. And you think you're doing the right things. You're like, oh, everybody likes me. Like, I'm the nicest guy in the business. Like, I make friends with everybody. Yeah. Someone out there doesn't like you.
Yeah.
And maybe that person's jealous of you or your product or your success. Or maybe these guys swindle people for a living and you got referred to them by someone you trust and like you didn't do your due diligence. And so the book is about the nature of being attacked as a leader. It could be a founder, you could be a creative, you could be an influencer, and how you mitigate or resolve those attacks.
Yep.
And you have to play defense.
Yep.
Most people don't want to play defense. Most people want to play offense. They want to like go out and do deals and raise money, do podcasts, and then suddenly it's like you're sued.
So you've been through it all.
I've been through a lot.
That's good. And that experience is going to help a lot of people. That book is going to help a lot of people.
That's the hope, man. Because nobody wants to be sued. Nobody wants to be attacked like that, but it does happen, and you need to be able to resolve that attack. And by the way, a lot of times these things take like years, dude.
Yeah.
Like none of this stuff is like, oh, this happened, I'll go solve it tomorrow.
Yep.
Most of the time in business, when you have these problems or obstacles, they are short term.
And you have to go through all that stuff individually, personally.
And then it's like, how do you focus on pushing your business forward?
Yeah.
But you're being sued over here.
Yeah.
And that takes months.
Yeah.
It could take years to figure out.
Which brings up a good point. Like, it's great to have a mentor. That way you can hopefully avoid a lot of those obstacles that get in your way.
Right.
But it's kind of inevitable if you want to be more successful and take on more things in life.
Yeah. And the other thing, like, and this is just like a function of our society, and I think it's unfortunate, but especially with lawsuits, like people can sue you for anything. They make up anything they want and sue you. Make some claim about you that's totally bogus or untrue, but they can sue you anyways and try to set you back.
Yep.
Try to damage your reputation, try to smear you. They know you're going to have to hire a lawyer or multiple lawyers. It's going to wear you down emotionally and mentally and financially.
Yep.
Sometimes, you defending yourself could be 10 grand. Other times it could be $500,000.
It's crazy.
Just depends. And so nobody wants to deal with that, but you often do. And there's grifters, there's people that don't play by the rules, and it sucks. It sucks to have to go through those things.
I'm currently in a situation where I have to evict a tenant.
Uh-oh.
You know, they've been there for months and they refuse to pay, and they said they're not going anywhere unless I evict them. So not only am I losing money, and I have to pay thousands of dollars just to get that person out of my house.
Pain in the ass. But you have to do it.
But you have to do it.
You have to do it.
And you have to keep moving forward. And then
Yeah.
eventually, hopefully this is the last couple of weeks
Good.
to deal with it. But eventually, you'll get through it.
Yeah.
And you get back on your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
And keep pushing
And
forward.
then move on.
And move on. That's it.
And then have it be behind you.
That's the name of the game.
That's the goal.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
I have two.
Two?
Yeah.
How old?
11 and 14.
Nice.
Turning
nice.
12 and 15
That's
this
great.
year.
That's great. And currently all in California, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Everybody?
SoCal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's great. So what else is happening? You just recently had an event in Vegas.
Yes.
And the purpose of that event was to also get attention on everything that's happening, right?
Yeah. So, it's interesting. Like in our shows, they're interactive, they're live, and they're investable. Like the viewer can become the shark. I can buy $100 of shares in your company. But for us to build this studio has taken many years and millions of dollars.
You had a lot of great people at that event. By the
Thank
way.
you.
Yeah.
Well, yourself included, man. It was great to meet you, and now I'm here, and we're getting to hang. So
And knowing that I knew half those people says that I'm in the right rooms.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we've raised about $11 million for our studio, and we have about 80 individual investors. And these people range from high net worth investors to billionaires, to venture capital firms, to family offices, angel groups, you name it. We've raised capital from that type of investor. Maybe not an institutional investor, like no pensions or things like that. But I've had success over the years raising capital through events. And so we host events every couple of months, and we try to expand our network to meet new potential investors. Not just investors, partners, friends, people that join our team. They want to become employees, all of it. And so for my companies, I've had success executing events, expanding my network, my company's network.
Yeah.
And we did an event in Vegas at a hangar owned by a guy named Ernie Moody, who's kind of a legend in Vegas. He invented the software for multi-line video poker, and he made several $100 million as a result of that algorithm, which is he knocked it out of the park. And he's got this huge hangar that's off the airport. It's got a plane, his private plane, like a 20 or 30 car collection.
It was a great location.
Thanks, man. And he's a fan of us. He's a fan of me, and I'm lucky to count him as an investor. And so we met him like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We pitched him. He came into our deal. He brought in one or two other guys. And I stay in touch with my investors. And so when I'm in town, and I live in LA, so I like coming to Vegas, and hey, I was just at his hangar right before this. I was like, Ernie, I've got a couple people in town. I want them to come by, partners, friends, all of it. And but we did an event maybe a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. We had 130 people. And, for that particular event, we just kind of approved everyone. Like, I'm not, you never know who's going to show up, right? And sometimes you get like a little riffraff, but most of the time you get people that are interested in what you're doing. And I never do these events thinking, all right, my goal is to go raise $1 million from somebody that showed up. It's never that simple, unfortunately. It's a networking game, right? Somebody comes and they say, hey, I like what you guys are doing. Like, I heard your presentation at the end, because we always talk for like 5 or 10 minutes. The event is a networking event, but we have appetizers, we have drinks, we had a taco truck, we had bartenders. And then like an hour and a half in, we get up, we throw up 2 or 3 slides. Hey, we have a studio that develops and produces interactive investing shows. We think this is the future of entertainment. This is what we've done. We've done 3 seasons of our first show. The last season was licensed by X. We cleared 100 million views. We've had Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Steve Aoki, Ninja, Phil Hellmuth in our shows. We've raised $11 million, and now we're doing a $3 million round. These are the terms. If you're interested, come see me. Like, that's how it goes.
For those people listening and watching, if they are interested in investing what you're doing, how can they reach out to you right now?
They can follow me on X. That's my platform. It's at Darren Marble. Darren, and then Marble like a marble you play in a game. That's where I'm most reachable. And
Any particular website or anything?
yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah.
That's my spot.
Nice.
But anyways, so someone will come to that event and they'll be like, I know somebody in Chicago that's going to love this. Or you know what, you should speak at this event in Miami, during Tech Week. It's in May. And so you just kind of branch out organically, and we've already had both investors, people that showed up that were at that event that have now invested in our company and have made really strategic, interesting introductions to bigger investors. And so for me, it's both a capital raising strategy, but I also like meeting new people. Like I get bored, honestly, if I don't meet new people every week.
If you're not doing things.
And sometimes, my partner is not the networker. He's kind of the visionary and the creative. He brought the idea to me.
Right.
But we have a good 1-2 punch. Like we balance each other out. One of us is always out there networking, shaking hands, trying to figure out, okay, this could be an investor, this could be a partner, this guy has a production company. And then Todd helps me kind of focus on staying in a lane, because sometimes I can veer off. I'll do an event every day, but that could be counterproductive too.
Yeah. You did mention that you were saying no a lot to people about this whole concept. And then what eventually made you say yes? You were like, okay, fine. This is actually a great idea.
That night when I was pitched on this idea by my partner Todd, it occurred to me that no one had done it for a reason. And the conclusion I came to was that it was a complicated business to execute, that there were 7 or 8 pieces that we needed to put together. And I was like, we have a couple of these pieces that are the harder pieces. The easier pieces are production, raising capital, finding famous people, talent, celebrities to be in your show. The harder pieces are the compliance, right? A show that allows a viewer to invest in a startup is actually complicated. You need to understand the rules and regulations of the Jobs Act, which we do. You need to have the technology and the software that support those types of regulated capital raises, which we do. We have to have a FINRA funding portal, which is a regulated piece of software, which we do. So I was like, you know what? We've got a couple of these pieces, and even though we're not in the entertainment industry, because I don't come from a Hollywood family, we're total outsiders. And we've kind of learned the ways of production, and it is interesting, coming from tech, one of the things we kind of saw in Hollywood is everybody does handshake deals.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is also true. People are fucking slow. People in Hollywood, they have a meeting and then 4 months later they're like, okay, so about that show I was like, what
4 months later.
What, you moved on, dude. In tech, you move fast.
Right.
The guys in the studio outside that door are already implementing OpenClaw. They heard about it a month ago. They're not implementing it. That's kind of the DNA of technology and startups is new technology, experiment, iterate, optimize.
Yep.
Hollywood's a very slow industry. It's old school. So we've had to kind of learn that. It's been painful. As people really slow. We're not slow, dude. We are a technology startup mindset and culture.
Yep.
Trying to disrupt both Wall Street and Hollywood at the same time, and they both have their own cultures. So it's been an interesting journey, but it's starting to get fun.
I can definitely relate, and I tell people that they need to move fast all the time. We're racing against time. There's actually a reason why I have this tattooed on my fingers.
I love that, dude.
That.
Live fast. Yeah.
Sometimes I live a little too fast. I should probably, as I get older, I'm like, maybe I should cross it out and put slow right here.
No, dude, it's the right. Those are the right letters.
But I've definitely lived fast, and do in everything that I do.
Right.
Lessons.
It's the only way to go, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all good stuff. Not done yet.
Good for you.
So how long are you here in Vegas right now?
I'm here tonight and heading back tomorrow.
Okay.
I came into town with my wife. She's not a Vegas person, but I got her here, and I play craps. I'm a dice guy. That's my game.
Nice.
So I get comped at Aria,
Nice.
and having dinner tonight at Zuma. I'm a sucker for good sushi, and the food in Vegas is top notch.
There you go.
You never run out, and both on strip and off strip.
Come to some of our Tao Group properties.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I love it here. It's 4
Tao,
hours away.
Marcus
So,
Marble.
and like, I've been driving from LA to Vegas, and I've got like Ernie. I've got a couple other big investors here.
Yeah.
And I like the vibe, man. Like, I like the energy of Las Vegas. I like the energy of New York.
For sure.
I get bored if I'm just like sitting at home every day at a computer. I have to be in the action.
I think that's
not
everybody.
24/7, but like, I like the energy here. So
So this was for fun. This trip was for fun, but also you've handled some, like, had some meetings and stuff.
it's always both.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
never coming just for business, and I'm never coming just to go
Good.
shoot dice or go eat sushi.
You've got to have that work-life balance,
It
right?
has to be both.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, but now as a founder, like, that's part of the upside.
yeah.
I can decide to come to Vegas in the middle of the week for 2 days
Sure.
because I have a reason. I have a business reason to.
Yeah.
But I also love the entertainment and like the nightlife.
And you know everybody here.
The culture and the food and the gambling, you know, and like Phil Hellmuth is one of our investors,
Yeah,
you know, world famous poker player,
yeah.
you know, and by the way, his network is insane. Like, he's the most connected person I've ever met. Like, everybody wants to play poker with fucking Phil Hellmuth.
Oh, I'm sure.
Everybody. You know, like, he's friends with celebrities, movie stars, princes, kings, governors, multi-billionaire finance guys. It's insane.
Do you have any favorite places to play?
I mean, I play at Aria and I play at Cosmo.
Mentioned that. Yeah, Cosmos.
Those are my spots, you know,
Cosmos, yeah.
and like, the reason I like the dice, and a lot of people think I'm crazy for playing this game, like, oh, you know, gambling is degenerate. I'm like, you know what? Screw that. It's a game of chance. You know, technically you can gain an edge if you're a card counter, but that's the only edge, right? Everything else, it's chance. There's something about the action of the dice when they're in the air, and to me, that is an analogy for entrepreneurship. And I always have thought of like being a founder as like you're jumping from vine to vine all the time.
Right.
So like you let go of one vine and you got to reach for this other, but you look down, you're like, shit, I'm in midair. Like, if I don't catch this, I'm dead.
Right.
That's a very good, and so the dice kind of have that same vibe to me
Analogy.
where like anything's possible. Could be a hard 6, could be a hard 8, God forbid, a 7 out.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
And there's something about that, you know, I think consciously or subconsciously that I like and has that risk taking that I
Relatability.
think I associate with being an entrepreneur, where you are midair and you're like,
Do you play
You're in
big
the
or play big or play small?
well, it depends if my wife is listening.
I was just gonna say that.
So I will say that I like some of the sucker bets because they're fun.
Yeah.
So like when you play craps, like the ATS, all tall, small,
Right.
or small, tall, and all. The small 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The tall 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Pay 30 to 1, 30 to 1, and the all pays 150 to 1. So the last time I was here, I had $75 out on the small, tall, and all. I was shooting at a crapsless crap table at the Aria, and I hit it. And the last number I shot, which the last one I needed to hit the all,
Yeah.
was the 3, the ace deuce, which is my favorite number and my lucky number. So I threw like $5 on the ace deuce,
Yeah.
one-time bet, you know, it's that red bet, and hit it, and you know, it pays like $57.50, like almost $6,000
Nice.
across those bets.
Yeah.
I took Aria for about $10,000 that
Nice.
trip.
Did you walk away?
I did walk away. Yeah. And then you know what I did? I gave it all to my wife.
There you go.
So people think I'm crazy for that too, but no, I give my winnings to my wife. I mean,
Happy wife, happy life.
happy
right?
wife, happy life. Like, I'm going to have her. It's going to go to camps and like basketball camp and like Trader Joe's and
She'll want to come back to Vegas
Whatever.
soon.
Yeah.
Again.
yeah, you know, so but that's my game.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I don't play anything else. I mean, I rarely play, I sometimes play blackjack, roulette, not a big fan. I'm starting to get into baccarat.
Yeah.
I don't play poker,
Yeah.
but you know, I like the energy of the city.
I don't really have the patience to play poker.
Yeah.
Like-
And now, by the way, like, these games are like boomer games.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know what's happening in Vegas, man. You tell me. Like, are less tourists? There's less people coming here. Maybe one of the reasons,
Well-
like, young people, you don't need to go to a craps table.
Yeah.
You pull out your phone and you make a bet on DraftKings or Polymarket or
That's where everything's
Kalshi.
going. Yeah.
And so like you can be in your bed at night and like trading contracts, making bets in real time.
Yep.
So the younger generation, I don't think is like, oh, let's go to Vegas.
Right. Right.
It's like an old dude's
It's evolving.
paradise now.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm an old dude and this is my paradise.
I mean, Vegas is always going to have that, vibe, that persona, like that. You can't beat that. People like to gamble here because of being Vegas.
Right.
But yeah, everything's evolving to where things are more online.
That's a fact.
And then our population is growing. The real estate industry is blowing up out here, booming. So Vegas is getting bigger, more popular, but people say it's not the same, which is not. We're evolving, but there's more nightclubs than ever. So
Yeah.
filling up a place is more challenging. And so if there's less people, you're going to feel like there's less people in Vegas, but it's really just because it's too saturated
Yep.
of a market now. Now instead of 3 or 4 nightclubs being open in one night, now you've got 10 open in one night.
One of these days I'm going to convince my wife to get like a second home out in Summerlin. Like,
Yeah. Why not? I feel like a lot of people from California are moving here. I did.
By the way, the people I know that live here, they
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And they're like, I never thought I would like living out here, and they rave about it.
Well,
They love it. Like,
not
there's a lot to like about this city.
especially LA. People that live in LA.
Yeah, plus the taxes, all of it. Like, there's 100 reasons. Yeah.
Yep, a ton of businesses came out here. A lot of my friends from California moved out here, and people are still continuing to move out here
Yep.
from not just LA,
I understand why.
all over.
Yeah.
Aside from the extreme heat, a few months out of the year,
Yep.
we have great weather. Things are still affordable. We're open 24/7, so it's all good.
Hit the pool parties when it's
Yeah,
hot. Yeah,
yeah,
that's why they're here.
And the entertainment world is coming out here too. A lot of influencers, actors, models, they're all
Totally.
transitioning out here.
Mark Wahlberg, 100 others. Yeah.
Yep.
I know.
Because the entertainment world is also evolving.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
there should be hopefully a studio that opens up. Well, there are studios, but I mean
Yes.
the big ones.
Yeah.
So there's talks about that, right?
Good place to be, man. I love it out here.
Yeah. So we'll talk to your wife about getting a place out.
I'm working on
If you
it.
need a realtor, you know who to go to.
I'll keep you in mind. I hope to have an opportunity to take you up on that.
Yeah. Lauren just moved out here.
Yeah, she loves it too.
Yep. I think everyone should move here at some point.
I like it too.
But it is also a lot to take on.
Yeah.
If you like that fast life, it's great.
Yeah.
And most entrepreneurial people and women.
It's a
too.
vibe, and yeah, that's one of the reasons I like it. It's that high energy.
Yep.
And
Have houses in multiple areas. So
Yeah.
if you want to live fast, come here. If you want to go on vacation, have your house somewhere else.
that works for me. I like that setup.
Yep. So let's see. What else we got going on?
Well, I mentioned this earlier, but part of my book is about having a stalker.
Yeah.
Right. And so I've got this really wild story that I'm telling in this book. And it's unique because I have a female stalker, and it's rare for like guys to have female stalkers. It's not unheard of. I mean, it's you probably find a lot of guys out there, but it's more uncommon, right? It's usually like a woman who's been stalked by an ex-boyfriend or partner or husband.
Do you know this person?
I don't know her, which is the crazy part.
Interesting.
Is I've only met her in court, and
In court, you
people
actually.
don't believe. They're like, I don't get it. Like, did you date her? I was like, no, I'm married. Like, I have kids, and I don't know her. She thinks she knows me.
Really?
In her mind, she's convinced that like I'm a manager of her or like I'm her employer, and it's a grift. Like, there's a total grifter. But
That's crazy.
The backstory in a nutshell is she was trying to grift a guy that was in season 1 of our show going public. And this season went out and premiered in 2021. And she sent me an email saying, hey, this guy in your show harassed me, and like, you got to get on a call and hear me out. So I called the guy in question, and he goes, Darren, I've never met her in person. So I emailed her back and said, hey, this guy has never met you.
Is she trying to get something from you?
Yeah, well, she's looking for payouts. So
Huh.
she's like, pay me to go away.
Pay me to go away.
And I think she derives pleasure from harassing men.
And you took her to court.
I've not only taken her to court, I have a 3-year restraining order against her.
Jesus.
So I've already succeeded in convincing a court, the LA Superior Court,
Yeah.
that this woman has a real problem. And look, the stalking has been like thousands of text messages, photos, videos, you name it. I've got thousands of them from her. and she doesn't stop. And so I finally got a restraining order against her in 2022.
Yeah.
And then it was going to expire in November, and she then became obsessed with my lawyer. She started harassing him
What?
and stalking him.
Well, that's the wrong person to harass.
So now I'm having to add him as a protected party to my restraining order.
Jesus.
And ask the judge, who's the same judge that gave me the restraining order in 2022, to extend it for me for another 3 years. And I'm writing a book about it. And it's been therapeutic. And it's just interesting because, no, I don't know this person. It's been totally insane. And man, some of these text messages.
Also, it could be scary. Who knows if she's trying to
Well, that's true.
hurt
And like,
you or the family in
you know,
some way?
like she has been nonviolent to this point, but you never know when somebody snaps.
Exactly.
You just don't know.
Exactly.
And like, I have decided to hold this person accountable for their actions. Her actions are inexcusable. She doesn't know me. There's no reason for her to contact me. She's trying to grift me and other people around me. And I've said, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to take you to court. And now I'm looking to file criminal case against her because she's violated the restraining order 100 times. And hopefully, the LAPD sees it my way.
Yep.
And, even though, look, she's not showing up to my house with weapons, God forbid, but the restraining order is very clear. Like, no contact, no indirect contact. She's violated it 100 times.
This is going to be a great book.
Dude, wait till you see some of the text messages I've gotten from this person. They will blow your mind.
Are you going to put them in the book?
100%. Right back at her.
When is this? When is the
In like 8 to 9 months.
Yeah?
So like late
It'll be ready?
2026, early 2027.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
It's going to be good, dude.
Now, for VIP Society, not only do I like to keep this podcast entertaining, as it always is, but I like to motivate, educate, and inspire people that are listening or watching.
Sure.
So what are some words of wisdom you can give to those people that want to be doing something that you're currently doing or what you have done? You've thrown out a lot of awesome value already, good advice. And is there something you like to live by, words you like to live by? Or
Well, I'll tell this. So like I talk about this a lot, and this is it's an uncommon strategy for business, and it's an uncommon strategy for success. I've been sober for 12 years. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm not California sober. I'm not leaving the studio and microdosing mushrooms. Nor do I have judgment, right? Because I've done all those things in a past life.
yeah,
But my advice to somebody out there listening where something is not working for you, they are not generating the revenue they want to be generating. They're not being able to close the deals or onboard the clients they want, is to quit drinking for 90 days. And this is what a business coach challenged me with 12 years ago. And I had this marketing agency. It was flailing. We were struggling. Nothing was working. We had a couple small clients, but I wasn't able to leave my software sales job. And I got on a call with this guy every week for a couple months and just kind of like lamented about this isn't working, but I want it to work. And at the end of this session, he was like, I think you should quit drinking for 90 days. And I remember feeling offended by that advice because I was like, that's not business advice. I hired you to be my business coach, and you're telling me something like personal outside of business, like that's unrelated. He goes, no. Right. You do want to transform your business, but in order to do that, you have to be willing to transform yourself.
starting with the mind.
100%. And then I said to him, his name was Adam. I said, Adam, but you know me. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have a drinking problem, dude. He goes, exactly why 90 days isn't going to be an issue for you. So anyways, it turned into 6 months, a year, 2 years. At the 2-year mark, I achieved my breakthrough in business. And we sold a deal in the marketing agency that allowed me to finally leave my 10-year career in software sales. And it was a deal that we had sold for like several $100,000. It was the biggest contract I'd ever sold for my own company. And that's when I made the leap, right? So my advice would be, if you're looking for that business breakthrough, but you haven't achieved it yet, and you feel like you're being held back or like you're one step away, I would challenge that person to quit drinking for 90 days and see if they start to feel a different direction kind of unfolding. And it's not me trying to be someone's coach saying you've got to make this decision, like quit forever. Because that's not what my coach told me. He didn't say you've got to quit forever. I choose to be sober. But I think it's an uncommon but highly effective strategy for some people. So that would be my advice to someone listening who's like, man, like I want to have entrepreneurial success. I want to start a business, but like, how do I get there? And the reason is when you're sober, you put 100% of your energy and your aura and your potential into your business. And the odds of failing are so high when you start a company. Like these things are fucking hard. The odds are against you. Most startups fail. Most businesses will fail.
So you want to eliminate as much as you can, starting with your vices.
That's it, right? Except for the dice. We're going to keep throwing dice.
Yeah, let's do that.
But it's a joke. You know, so the way I describe it is like I went from 95% efficiency to like 96.
Yeah.
Maybe 97.
Yeah.
Like, but that 1% improvement in productivity, 1% improvement in energy, in aura, in communication, persuasion, that improvement over time is the breakthrough. And that I didn't realize that. Like, this isn't like, hey, quit drinking and doing drugs and like tomorrow everything's better. It's like anything that has value takes time to achieve.
Right.
You want to get married? It's not going to happen in a day. Like you don't have to date somebody and get to know them and have good vibes and
It's a process.
for months or years.
Yeah.
Same thing in business. Like those breakthroughs take time, but for me it was the unlock that I had been looking for. So that would be my recommendation.
I like that.
Thanks, dude.
Everything's a process. It takes time, like you said. I'm happy that you came on to the show today.
Thank you.
You gave a lot of great advice and stuff. So hopefully we have you back on soon.
Thanks, Anthony.
Let's knock some things out and accomplish some goals first.
Game on.
You know, and then we'll have you back after that book is out or something.
Thanks, dude. Let's kick ass and take names, brother.
But for all those people watching and listening, where can they find you on social media?
Find me on X. That's my platform, at Darren Marble. Follow me, message me, and I'm happy to talk.
Great. All right, guys. Stay tuned in for the next episode. Until then, give us a follow.
Thanks, dude. Nice, brother.
What do you think? How do you feel?
That was awesome.
Yeah?
You're a great interviewer.
These guys are good at editing, so they'll make it look good.
Oh, you were flawless.